You're still on my account, aren't you?
Yeah, I haven't changed anything.
Well, I can't see it.
It's not coming up with the icon on my screen.
I got it.
Is it coming up?
I've got it, yeah.
Approval needed for broadcaster. There we go.
Alright, I'll be right back. 2 secs.
Hello, comms booth.
Good evening.
Good evening, Kelly. How are you, mate? Andy?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Not bad, mate. Yeah, just finished work.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh, fuck's sake, it's been a long day.
yeah. They get longer the older you get.
Yeah, exactly. A bit like hangovers, right?
Yeah, I find if you just keep drinking, you won't have one. So I've been doing that since I'm 18. Never stop.
Hair of the dog and all that.
Yeah.
That's a nervous poo out of the way.
There you go. Oh, thanks for
Alright,
that.
mate.
Yeah, mate.
Who's got
hunters
stream on in the
tonight,
background?
Not me, don't you?
Great impression, G. Love it.
I thought it was a crap Sean Connery himself.
Was he doing Sean Connery? I didn't know.
Hey, you seems to have tanked a beast. That was Roger Moore, just in case anybody...
See all the stewards' inquiries coming in on the tour on the which one is it? Formula Renault. Interesting.
I didn't put one in for Ian taking me out in touring cars, but I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Still got time.
Nah, I'm not petty. No.
Oh no, he hasn't.
What's the point?
Yeah.
It's
You
not
looked at
like
mine yet, Dan?
him. Just giving him a penalty doesn't give me points, does it? It's not like I'm gonna move up the table if he gets a penalty. It makes no sense. It's illogical. What's the point?
I was taken out by Delorey in the chicane in the sprint. I was so pissed off, but I didn't record, so I had no evidence, right? So I just have to move on.
Yeah, exactly. You got no evidence, then.
Nothing you can do.
It's dead end, yeah.
Just take it on the chin, right? So it is.
I put my complaint in.
Yeah, you did actually put it in, so I will sort it out because you did. But
Yeah, it's only because
do it the other night.
It's only because I'm getting fed up with being hit every week by the same person.
No.
Right, I'm gonna jump in game chat. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okie dokie.
I've got the Wikipedia Willow Springs page open for some facts, Kelly.
And there isn't a lot of that about the horse thief mile, is there?
No, there isn't.
I doubt it. You're hard pushed that there's anything there. I'm sure there's got to be.
This is the track you said to me to have a go on. I've not tried it yet. It looks really
mate, you should. It's funny.
Yeah, it's like a good go-kart track.
Yeah, it's great. The up and down is brilliant.
Oh, you driven it at night, have you? It looks good, does it? With all the lights and stuff. Okay, cool. Cool.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to Tier 1 of the Clio Cups here on Motive Racing. The Silent X Energy Renault Clio Cup Tier 1s. We are here at the Horse Thief Mile at Willow Springs, and I'm joined in the commentary box by X-Mart, Martin Story. Good evening. How are you, Mart?
Good evening, Kelly. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I'm alright. I forgot to say my name and tell everyone who I am, but I'm sure they all know who I am anyway. Kelly Davis, just in case you don't know or you're new. Yes, I've got a bit of a snivel, Martin, so I apologise if you or the people at home hear a little bit of a snivelling noise. That's me wiping my nose. I do apologise now. But you know, that's where it goes.
Hankies at the ready?
Hankies at the ready, yeah.
Lovely.
You
Cup of tea?
Yeah, cup of tea. I've sucked a fisherman's friend, and you know it's all good. Yeah, the racing will get me through, my friend. That's for certain, sure. Horse Thief Mile, Mark. I told you about this one.
You did?
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I think.
Looks really cool, doesn't it? I mean,
crazy track. Crazy.
Look at the elevation changes. The elevation changes up and down a hill all the way through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And as the name suggests, it's a mile, just a tad under a mile. We'll when you get an opportunity in the next 7 minutes or so, Mark, you give us an on-board run round here, and you'll see the elevation changes. And I mean, this is a crazy little track. This is.
Let's do that now. Let's have a quick look now, buddy.
Indeed. As we're on board with Delore, and he's just if we stay on board with Delore and we get back to the start, we'll show, because he's quite early on into the lap. As I said, it's only a mile, so the laps are over pretty quick. As you can see, the times already in the 54s is where we are. And Delore, I was going to mention about that corner, that's one of the hardest ones, is where Delore is right now. So this just coming up over the top of the hill now. They're coming down the hill once again, and there's a lot of up down on this track. As you can see, a lot of cars in front, sideways. These little Clios, as we know, are really difficult to control. So look, here we go. This is the pit complex on the left hand side. So as I said, they're only a mile long, so you come through this chicane, the start finish line is there, right? So this is flat scat up through here, keeping foot nailed, and then you go dramatically uphill, all the way up there, where Delore going somewhat wide. That's very easily done, and look, he's gone into the pits.
Go to somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's it.
The house rocker. He's now he's a couple of corners in now as well. So we'll as I said, this is nailed onto the side of the Willow Springs track. It's a separate track. It doesn't use anything of the main track, although it does have its own pit lane. Hence how we can race here with this championship, because it has got a pit lane long enough to accommodate all the cars that we need. So we'll try this again. Pit complex on your left hand side, come through this fast chicane, cross the start finish line, keep it absolutely pinned through turn 1 and up the hill. Try not to go wide as you go. Try to jump into that dip there, that's it. Go out to the left. Now this is the first hairpin, number 1, so you're right at the top of the course. So it's elevation hairpin, uphill to downhill, then you drop downhill into this pit, which then is another hairpin, downhill to uphill, easy to run wide, like that, and that slows you down. Look how slow he's gone. And he's gone back to the pits.
He's gone again. You were saying brilliantly there, mate. Carry on, buddy. Let's go back round.
We'll get there in a minute. Right, let's try it again. So, see if somebody can complete a lap. Across the start finish line, keep it absolutely nailed. Drop into the little dip like everyone's doing in front of us. Stay on the track out to the left hand side. First hairpin, uphill to downhill. So peaks right in the middle of the apex. Stay tight to the apex, easy to run wide. Drop downhill, easy to run wide as well here, and end up on the right hand side there. Lots of brakes, come round, stay right off that running wide on that right hand side, slows you right down. Again, up and down on another hairpin. So again, we drop downhill again, so in repeat of what we've done before, another hairpin downhill to uphill, not quite so severe. The last hairpin uphill to downhill. Then you get into the start-finish. I was going to say straight, affair, start-finish affair, through these little corners, and there's a lap. Quick laps, 54.
That is so cool.
It is a great little track. It really is. It really is fantastic.
I'm going to have to give it a go.
Yeah,
what do you think about track limit? Track limits on this one should be a little bit hairy, I would say. People cutting corners. I don't know how vicious these track limits are going to be, mate. Do you think
I can't,
quite a few?
I can't honestly remember from the last time I drove it, to be fair. But what I will tell you is that when you get on the dirt, as we saw with De Huis Rocker and with Delore, especially just there, that corner we came through, when you get on that dirt, that's the end of it. It just slows you down to absolutely nothing. And all you can do is creep back to the tarmac and get back on the track. So people who run wide there, it's going to hurt them really, really badly. And
these are perfect cars for this track, aren't they? I can imagine these are like pocket rockets. It's a tight, small circuit. I think these or Megane touring cars would be fantastic. Can you imagine doing them in Formula Renault?
I have been round here in Formula Renault. Yes. That's I done I think like not online, but on the just on the machine. Like did a 30 lap Formula Renault race here. And absolutely, I like the Formula Renaults around here because they're point and squirt, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? And that's I think I would prefer to put a Formula Renault around here than I would a Clio or a touring car. To be fair,
I'm going to have to give that a go. I'm going to have to give that a go just for some fun, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow, I mean, that's really well articulated there. That lap, you've certainly done it a few times. Certainly want to have a go in it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I would imagine the steering ratio and most of the setups on this one are fairly low because of the tightness of some of the corners, I would imagine. What do you tend to set for this course? Do you sort of tweak it to 10 or less than that? Or?
Well, again, I mean, I've only raced it. I haven't raced it as a sim race with anybody else. I've only really raced it, for fun on the game itself with the AI. So I didn't really do any particular setup changes for it. So I don't know what the guys are going to do. We know the Clios are very arse end happy. We say it every week. They're not the easiest car to drive. Or you would think that someone in the background went very wide. I don't know who that was. I think they're trying to find the main track. But we know the Clios. We say it every week that they're not the easiest car to drive, and they certainly aren't. They're very arse end happy. They never get their rear tyres warm. And it's going to be a bit of a handful for people tonight. It certainly is, And it's one of those tracks. It's relentless, isn't it? It's like Monaco. You don't have a moment to stop and think. You don't have a long straight to start to relax at all. So it's going to be some tricky racing tonight, I feel.
They're going to be pretty tired, I'd say, by the end of the feature. Doing obviously the sprint and then the feature. You're right. I mean, literally, you finish one lap. What do we do? It's a 54-second lap. It's kind of similar sort of times you do on the Brands Hatch Indy, right?
Yeah. So with a lot more corners.
With a lot more corners, exactly. Hardly any straights. Really excited to give it a go. Next time I fire up the game, mate, I will give it a go and report back next week to you on it. So, so we are now on. Just trying to see which round we're on right now. We are now in round 1, 2, 3, 4. Round 4 out of 5, 6, 7, 8 of the Clio Championship. Shall I give a little bit of a roster on how the championship's laying out at the moment, mate? I've got it in front of me.
Yes, please.
So we're leading at the moment. We're leading with the G's, leading with 189 points. He's done pretty well this season. He's had 3 wins and 3 thirds, so pretty impressive. Great consistency there from the G. He's on 189 points. He's got a fair gap actually between himself and Motorin Morgan, who's in second place on 146 points. So he's 43 points ahead of Motorin Morgan. Motorin's had some pretty decent results. He's had a win at Monza Short. Has had 2 seconds, came second twice at Sugo last week. In third place we've got John Boy on 119 points. In fourth we've got Luton McShooty with 119 points as well, so he's right on the tail of John Boy. Delore is in fifth on 79, and De Huis is on 107 points. Your man Dan's on 100 points, is the last person who's reached 3 figures. So I won't go and carry on. Oh, well, I'll carry on with Andy's got 98, so we can't not mention Andy. He's obviously, there or thereabouts. And then we've got the rest of the team: Valigre, Melted Dazzle. Unfortunately, we haven't got Laney on this evening again. I think he's focusing now on touring cars and Formula Reynolds. So, yeah, absolutely, there's a lot to do with those two. So anyway, off we go.
Yes, indeed. Now that was a practice session, wasn't it? And we will be
formation lap.
Absolutely. So we'll be doing one formation lap where the guys have got to get themselves into reverse grid order. It's a sprint race, 30-minute sprint race. Later on, after this, we'll have another qualifying session, and then we'll have a feature race with a pit stop for the second one. So stick around. Not got much of a lap to try and get themselves in order, have they? To be honest, it's a short lap. Well, so. It is, but these are all tier 1 guys, so they know the drill. So they should be able to sort it out reasonably quickly. No doubt there'll be one of the guys will be in there. They'll all be in a party chat together, so they'll know where they've got to go once they get all synced up. So they'll find their places quite quickly. So it'll be a rolling start, and. As I said, a 30-minute sprint race, no pit stops. So I noticed I only jumped in on watching the tier 2s right at the end, and they were very minimal on fuel. Some of those guys, and hopefully these guys will have fueled accordingly. But of course, the more fuel you carry, the more weight you carry. Of course, Yeah.
Absolutely, fuel strategy is important in many cases. Sorry, I cut across you. I was going to say something there, Kelly.
No, just finishing off what you said and what I was saying. Really, just exactly that, Mark. Yeah, fuel strategies. These Clios are are effective by how much fuel they're carrying. If you empty them out and drive them around and then fill them back up again, it's a different car to drive.
Big difference. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. So they're just sinking now, ready.
We're just syncing up. So as I said, they'll come off the line as we hear the lights go, and nobody rushes off particularly quickly because they're going to get themselves into order. So we know it'll be the only G at the back, being his championship
Devil
leader.
At the front. Smoky Devil at the front. And I won't name the rest of the group, but they'll all get themselves into order at some point. So people sort of sneaking in between 2 cars there.
Lucky that the project car's mirrors are indestructible, because they would have been all off, wouldn't they? Everything else on the car you can break, but not the mirrors. The mirrors never come off.
Absolutely right. Well, this is going to be a hectic commentary, mate, because there's going to be a lot of changing, a lot of moving. So let's hope we can keep you honest in this one, mate.
We'll see, Mark. As I said, the tier 2s were, when I jumped in, were all being quite good. Do you know what I mean? It's a good straight racing. We could probably do with being on Smoky Devil, could we not, Mark? As he will be our safety car, as it were, as he's already gone wide. He already gone wide there just before the last dip. He'll come up round the last one, and then he works as the pace car, as it were. So he picks his point where he wants to go. He can go at any point, and looks to me like he has.
He's off now.
Yeah, absolutely. They come across the line, so Smoky Devil leads them out. WSRJ is your man in second place as they come up to the first hairpin for the first time. Melted Dazzler is in third place as they come on up. They're filing through. Looks like everyone's getting through cleanly and into the first hairpin. We say it's going to be some action. As I said, it might not be that way. They might find that they get into a groove and that, overtaking opportunities are going to be few and far between. It's more going to be capitalising on mistakes, I feel, as we have a bit of... here we go.
A bit of a company of Valigre and Dan and Andy, sorry.
Andy, Andy...
No, it was Dan, sorry, it was Dan and... Was it Andy?
No,
really
it was.
Hard to keep up with
I think it was Vliga. It was him.
Vliga and Andy. You're right, mate. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, they come together, and I think that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be more about capitalising on people's mistakes more than it is overtaking opportunities. Because laps so quick and so many corners. It's where's your overtaking opopportunities?
I can't see them, to be honest. You're right. I mean, it's going to be so tight. It's going to be down to mistakes.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Getting in some sort of groove. there's only been that little tap together. That was a racing incident, and just trying to keep your head clean and keep focused, because that's what they're doing by the looks of it so far, mate.
Yeah, so far, absolutely. And there's some people making some moves. Whichever yellow car that is, I think it was John Boy, isn't it? That's put one on motoring.
That's it.
Yeah,
just use overtaking.
It is, isn't it?
But yeah, it's so close.
Oh, and there we go. That was John Boy and collects up Andy as well, and motoring Morgan. G's in there as well. Looks like G's going to be the one who's going to capitalise. He's on the inside of that hairpin. If he can get away from these lot still scrapping. No, Andy's managed to get back in front of him. Went the long way round the hairpin. Has managed to get back in front of him. And,
look at these three really going for it.
I know. It's good, isn't it? It's good. It's good racing, and that's what we love about Clio's. Always great action with the Clios. One of the best spectator series of the week, I think you'll find. Certainly in my opinion. Always John, great racing.
Three of some of the best racers out there. John Boy, the G, and Andy, all having a good old tussle together. It's great to see.
Yeah. Now look, see Andy slow right down here. Look.
Yeah.
And G's let him.
Maybe he had a slow down. I don't know. Actually.
I don't know, but G certainly backed off it, because once you get on that dirt, Mark, it's just horrendous. It just slows you right down.
You're off ski. Yeah, definitely. So the G's at the back of this three here, and he's just behind him, and John Boy's managed to pull slightly away from that little group of three, that little tussle. They probably did need to sort of separate a little bit, because there was only going to be loads of bloody anger and loads of tussles together.
Yes,
so if you now look at the
that's
top.
Who was that? It was that Luty? No, it wasn't Luty. It was somebody in one of the other yellow cars.
Going back one of the orange cars. This car, it was WSRJ. Yeah, absolutely. Cutting a few corners there, getting into. So quick this lap, oh my god, you're surrounded before you started.
Yep, we're into lap
around it all.
We're into lap 5 already. We've only just started talking.
Old fellas like you and me, mate. Old fellas like you and me. God, it's good for our
moving a bit quickly, isn't
it? So here we go. So let's have a quick look at the front. So we've got Smokey running out in the front. He's doing well, keeping it together. Fair play to him as he started at the beginning with ultimate shooting. There hasn't been much change at the front. 3 or 4. Your man Dan's pulled up a little bit into
he's pulled up. He's I think he's kept his nose clean, stayed out of trouble, and that's managed to get him up into 4th place as we speak. And only what is he, a second from the lead basically. That's how tight this is. So anybody's game at the moment.
We've got a couple of penalties. I won't have check on how many seconds it is yet.
Mark, sorry to talk over you, but they both went out on the dirt, the ones in front, which let Dan through. 2 places, easy meet. Luty McShooty's now in front. Smokey went wide. Oh, and there's chaos in the background. Who's that? I don't know who that was. That was.
Having a look here. It's hard to get the bloody bearings on this.
It is, isn't it? They start tumbling the order. You're trying to follow them. I think it was. DeHuis Rocker, was it? I think it might have been DeHuis, a blue car it was, so I think it was
a light blue,
yeah. So,
absolutely.
Yes, indeed. So, as I said, Smokey and somebody else, could have been Melted Dazza, got out onto the dirt, and Dan was able to capitalise 2 places on that, as it started to get really dark really quick. Really quick. And, dark and foggy by the looks of it, a bit misty out there on the North Street now. So, Luty McShooty in 1st place.
He's pulled up, yeah, absolutely. We must have missed what Smokey had. Maybe had a bit of a problem there.
Smokey and someone else who went wide onto the dirt, and that's what promoted Luty and Dan.
Dan's managed to get himself up into 2nd now. That's great for him. Fantastic play, mate.
Yes, indeed. Smokey's recovered and managed to pull up behind Dan, and so not too much harm done for Smokey. But of course he's lost the lead, so he'll be keen to try and get that back again. But Luty just started to pull a gap. What we also saw, and again, I came in briefly on the tier 2s, and what we found was lap traffic was a problem for the tier 2s when they come round, because it's such a short lap and it's such a tight lap. When they manage to catch each other and catch the back markers, then then we're going to have some interesting lapping of the back markers when we get that far.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go on bumper cam. Let's have a quick look at how
absolutely.
It looks,
While you're doing that,
close.
I'll have a quick look through the comments. Plenty of comments coming in, and
right.
Prolapse in there. Nicky's in there asking where Laney is. Well, Laney's apparently concentrating on only a couple of cars instead of all of the cars, so I can understand that. I only drive the touring cars at the moment. I don't mess around with anything else. My old brain can only work out one car at a time. Oh, look at Delore go past. Who did he go past? John Boy. John Boy must have to slow down. Yeah, closing speed. That was crazy, wasn't it?
So late on the brakes
there.
Well, Nicky shouldn't be typing away. He should be out making the Prolapse t-shirts right now. He should be
absolutely
creating those rainbow t-shirts. Yeah, exactly. They're becoming your way, mate. There'll be a merchandise page set up very soon. There's a nice little view here. Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice little view here of 4 cars already. You can see, back to your point, sliding round those hairpins. Sort of like coming back round, coming out wide and then coming in tight. There's one just a bit of an undertake there from the G, but it looks
the G
nice,
got down the inside.
Nice little move there on the inside, wasn't it?
Yes,
wow,
indeed.
Fair play to him. Yeah, he's clinical on the corners, you can see. He's trying to fight his way through. As you say, it's difficult. He started at the back, he's now up into the 8th place, so he's got a long way to go to get anywhere near at the front of Taluti and up to your man Dan. So let's come off bumper cam and go back on board trackside. And have a little view of how close Dan is. So Dan's 3 seconds off the back of Luty. Seems to have pulled out a bit of a gap there, mate.
Luty's checked out, hasn't he? He's 3.5 seconds in front of Dan.
He's done a Laney.
Done a Laney. Is that what we're going to call it? He's done a Laney.
That's what we're going to say. That's going to be a new motivism, isn't it? He's done a Laney.
Well, and he certainly has, because as I say, he's checked out 3.7 seconds now from Dan, and then there's pretty much everybody else behind Dan, really. So Luty in first, and pretty much everybody else in second as we go on at the moment. But yeah, it's so kind of Monaco-esque, isn't it? That as we see all
hang on, mate. Seeing a little bit of shoving, pushing and shoving there. 4 cars, got a bit of flashing going on there. I think someone's not a bit happy, but
Motoring Morgan, and having a tussle with Smoky Devil there as G still making his way through. He's coming up behind Smoky now, so Smoky just falling down through the order really here.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, indeed. So he's now got the only G behind him. The only G can see 4 places right in front of him. We had a bit of a
tap there, I think, from Smoky on motoring.
Oh, and he's taking out the G as well.
G. Oh, God. Oh, no. Poor old G. All that hard work has gone from 5th or 6th down to 10th. He won't be happy with that.
No headlights. He's found his lights. That's okay. But yeah, that was a little bit scruffy there, all in all. So G with all the work to do again. So absolutely. As we're into half distance, 12 laps in, half distance. These guys will be. These guys will be concentrating. Their eyes will be on absolute stalks now. 12 laps in of this track. And it's one of those. If you lose your concentration and lose where you are on the track, if you know what I mean, in your head, lose think, where am I on the track? It's quite easy to make a mistake and to run out on the dirt here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at G. He's got to make up a little bit more ground. He's 3 seconds behind Smokey. He'll want to get cleanly past Smokey and start building himself back up the leaderboard again. But there's 30 minutes left. There's a fair amount of time. Let's be honest, the G is capable of some pretty amazing stuff. And Andy's unfortunately still down in 11th place. Struggling out there a little bit, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, possibly, and I don't know if Andy's been going on his no practice theory, and has just rocked up and doing it. Me and Andy have had conversations about this, about practice, no practice, which is better, and all the rest of it. But again, I'm in the camp that you should practice, and I think this track could do with a little bit of practice, but as I said, has he practiced? Does he know the track? has he just been unlucky? You know, so
Possibly,
yeah, absolutely.
He was unlucky at the Silverstone Classic on Sunday. He got unfortunately couldn't connect on the sprint.
We had fun games there.
Yeah, it was great track that, and he did pretty well in the feature. I remember I got third in the feature.
Yeah, you had a good run.
Climbing. Yeah, I had a bit unfortunate in the sprint. Got unfortunately taken out by, I won't name the person live on the stream.
Yeah.
But racing incident, these things happen. I was very unlucky on Saturday, mate, with the Formula Reynolds, by the way.
Right.
I was leading in the feature in the Formula Reynolds on Road America. Absolutely loved that track on that car. Dan hated it.
Yeah, I'm with Dan on it. I hate it.
I just got kicked out. I got kicked out of the game. I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. The guys were very sort of, you know, they were arms around me virtually, if that makes sense. And Dan had it at Algarve, right? And he was leading as well, so he certainly felt what I felt. So I was so gutted. That's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
It is,
sim racing, though.
It is.
You're down to the internet gods, right?
Absolutely, and you know you can. You can trade it off whichever way you like. You know, in the real world, we have engine failures and car failures and so on and so forth. Do you know what I mean? And you know, so you could say that it compensates for that.
It's a similar thing in a way.
Yeah, you know, it's hugely gutting. You know, the engine, if the car stops, and there's nothing you can do about it, you're out of the race. So, as we see, was that was
WSRJ came off.
WSRJ going very wide and into the dirt and into the hedge.
G's got past Smokey. I thought I'd let you know, mate.
Okay,
G's got past Smokey. He'll be happy about that. Yeah. So he's kind of not far off back where he was. So it's like 3-4 minutes ago. So he's got a gap of 5 seconds up to Melted. Be interested to see how long it takes him to get behind Melted and see him sort of challenge for the top 5 at least. Anyway, so Luke's is still in the lead, mate. Doing well.
He is.
Now 3 seconds.
Yeah. And Dan's dropped John Boy a little bit as well, and Dan's gapped himself 4 seconds. 4 seconds off the lead and 4 seconds back. Absolutely. So yes, he has.
Still in the show.
Sorry, I tell a lie. That was they're both 4 seconds, and John Boy got in front of Dan. I don't know how he done that. We didn't see that. Was when we were looking at something else. John Boy's managed to get past Dan. So sorry, that wasn't 4 seconds behind. The times are obviously behind the leader. Not gapped between each car.
They'll be fighting for third or second, these two towards the end, I'm sure. De Huis is in fourth, 4 seconds behind that couple of John and Dan.
Yeah, he's just been done by Motoring Morgan as you were speaking.
By Motoring. Absolutely.
So Motoring going well. He's going. I mean, he's a quick boy anyway.
Certainly is, mate. Without a doubt. As De Huis is, he's shown what he's capable of. A bit scrappy sometimes. I've noticed with Delore. I was saying. Yeah. He's very capable, very fast. I mean, his qualifying in touring cars on Sunday was outstanding. He was right up there with Laney. But I've noticed a couple of times he just needs to probably get a bit of consistency going in the Tier 1. He moved up from Tier 2 into Tier 1. I mean, we all know there's some fantastic drivers in that group now, right? So
absolutely.
See where Delore ends up at the end of today's race, and G's not managed to make up a bit of ground on Melted. Actually, he's actually, the gap has grown a little bit. So maybe he needs to put the pedal to the metal a little bit more, mate.
Yeah, I think probably G's going to struggle to make that gap back. These guys are all going at a similar kind of race pace. I mean, you look at the times, 54s, 55s. Just about everyone apart from Smokey, who's gone right to the back for some reason. He must have had an off. But 54s, 55s, they're all in the same kind of bracket, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? So G's only going to take a 10th at a time and stuff like that. And the slipstream isn't going to work quite so well around here. That we know the Clio. I mean, when we're at Monza, the slipstream is so effective on these cars. Obviously, that's not going to happen so much here because so many corners, you don't get a chance to,
Let's go on board the G. Let's go on board the G and have a little watch with him, like you did before. Let's see how he takes the track, mate.
Yes, indeed. Apex is at the top of that corner where we can turn the first hairpin that was. So we dropped down. Apex, pulls it into the apex, nice and tight, stays off the dirt on the right hand side. As I said, probably the worst spot to be on that dirt. Again, Apex is, nothing dramatic going on. Do you know what I mean? Exactly like it should be. Smooth and consistent. That's where you want to be. Small moves.
Yeah.
The more boring it looks, the faster it normally is. If he's axawing at the wheel, there's normally something wrong. And as you say, just G making smooth movements, hitting the apexes. Yeah, no problem with that at all. As you can see, just come across the start-finish line again. Drops into the dip, runs out to the left-hand side. You nail it all the way to the corner. Of course, you can brake very, very late because you're going uphill, and just balance it onto the top of the apex. And smooth as you like. And that's why he's got 32 world records.
Smooth. Well, that's just it. You're bang on with the smooth comment. I've noticed that from G, and I've also noticed that from Andy actually. He certainly doesn't do a lot of soaring at the wheel. I remember watching him drive at I think it was Bathurst actually, and he had the camera on him driving. I think we had a problem with the stream that day, and he was just so chilled. He was just so chilled. I've got to say, maybe I should put a camera on me and see what I look like. I bet I'm sawtoothing left, right, and centre.
I probably look like I'm driving a rally car in a straight line.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I reckon that's the same with me. It's all about smooth movements. You're right.
Yeah. It's all, Jensen Button is one of the well-known ones for being particularly smooth and precise. And Jensen Button needed the car because his style suited was so smooth that he had to have the car underneath him, very much so. And when Jensen did have the car underneath him and he had it set up right, he was the quickest guy out there. Do you know what I mean? On his day, he was as good as anybody. But he needed to be in that window because his look at that. Who's that?
What's going
Is
on
that
there?
John
Right
Boy,
up on the side. Again, it's difficult. I wish I knew all the colours.
I think it's John Boy because he's dropped down the order.
There you go.
He was in second.
Gone down to fourth.
Yeah. He was in second. And, it's gone down the order. So I think that was John Boy getting it all wrong. Put Dan back into...
Dan the opportunity.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. We got 4 minutes left. Dan gets it on that dirt there. Just your two wheels on there is going to hurt you. These guys, every time they go on there, they'll be cursing when they get on that dirt out of that corner. Luti's now got nearly 8 seconds ahead. I think he's got this one in the bag, being that he doesn't mess it up,
Yeah, and he's just sort of past the back marker.
Yeah, that would be Valiga, but that would have been that he just got through.
I'm getting a bit of feedback from your mic, mate. I don't know if you're moving it around a little bit, or maybe somebody else in the lobby. Just so I don't know if you can hear the same.
No, I can't. So it might be me. I don't know.
A little bit of microphone movement.
Yeah. We got some stuff in the chat. Nikki chatting that Max Verstappen was robbed of a victory. I presume you're talking about the Grand Prix. I don't know how much we want to get into that, but
maybe we can talk a bit about it. Maybe we can talk a bit about the Formula One in the qualifying in the next round.
Yeah, I've got 2 words really: track limits.
Go on.
Track limits. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
track limits. Where were they?
What do you think then? As we were on the subject, what do you think? Do you think it was?
I think
a good
we
move
lacked.
Or what?
I think we lacked consistency on Sunday with the track limits on turn 4, in my opinion. And hey, what do I know? I'm just a mere spectator and an enthusiast, but I thought it was inconsistent on the track limits. Verstappen overtook, and he overtook, and he did go out wide over the track limits to make that stick, and he gave it back. But they were popping over those track limits all the way through the race.
All the time. All the time. That's true.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think if it was me, I may have held on to the place and fought it out at the end. But yeah, I don't know.
That was race control, wasn't it, that told him to give it back?
Well, yes, I believe so. Do you know what I mean? Because I do think Max said on radio that, you know, I'll take a 5-second penalty and I'll make 5 seconds. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if he could have done or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the Mercs were as bad off as we all thought they were. You know. I don't think they were. I think they were sandbagging a little bit through practice and whatever. But unfortunate race. But some good showings for some guys though, weren't there? Lando Norris
did really well.
The Ferraris
he's
were
my turbo driver in Fantasy Formula 1.
Is he? Well, he did very well. He's a good little peddler, that lad. And you know, nice to see the Ferraris weren't as bad as we thought they were going to be. You know, both of the Ferrari drivers were in the mix throughout the weekend. And what did Leclerc finish? 4th or 5th? Did he? 5th, I think he finished.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but so yeah, you know, great to be back at Formula 1. I've got my tickets for the British Grand Prix this year. So,
brilliant, nice one.
Yeah, well, we've booked up for the British Grand Prix and for Donington Park for touring cars. So
nice.
Yeah, got to get back out there after we get rid of this bloody COVID rubbish, isn't it? You know, we need to all get back out there and
back to
start
normality. Now summer's here. What a great day weather. Anyway, we'll talk about the weather. I've had absolutely an amazing day at home today. Getting a few things sorted for the weather, but we've got a minute left, mate.
We have
with Luta McShooty in the lead. We've got your man Dan in second place, who's 9 seconds off Luty. Luty just needs to keep his head clear and straight.
Yes, he does.
And Motoring's a couple of seconds behind Dan. Dan probably needs to do the same. Motoring's still got a bit of pressure from behind from John Boy. John Boy's desperate to get on the podium. It's going to be a close one between John Boy and Motoring by the looks of it. There's a second between them, well, half a second to be honest. So let's see how that sort of pans out. 22 seconds left. We'll have to wait and see.
I think Lucy, he won't go another lap, will he? I don't think.
Let's see. I was just about to think that. 10 seconds. No, you're right, mate. I don't think he's going to get another lap in. We'll see. It's going to be very touch and go. 5 seconds for.
He's still at the bottom of the last.
No, it's at the bottom. So this is the last lap for Luty and last lap for Dan, of course. So let's keep on the cam in and congratulate Luty for winning. As he comes over right now, a nice little flash of the lights there, buddy. So Luty takes first place.
Sprint race winner, Lucy McShooty.
Fair play to him.
Yes.
Dan's coming in second, buddy. Yeah, and Arthur Dobbs is coming into second place. Fair play to Dan. Well done. Morgan's managed to keep that third place from John Boy. John Boy's got fourth. Dolori comes home in fifth. Melter Dazzle in sixth. DeHuis Rocker in seventh. The G managed to stick and didn't really make the ground up. You're right, in eighth. Andy in ninth. Smokey's coming down the hill now to finish in 10th place. He'll be over the line shortly, with the back of the pack being brought up with WSRJ and Veligre. So there we have it, mate.
Yeah, that's your
sprint race.
That's your sprint race over and done with. Of course, for the next race, in just a few minutes, we will go qualifying. We'll have it's been difficult for as you say, like the only G to come back, Andy to come back through the pack. Yeah. They didn't have an opportunity. So it's going to be qualifying next. So qualifying for the feature race comes up very, very shortly. We are going to have a very short break. We'll be back with the Silent X Energy Clio Cup feature race very, very shortly. Come back and join us. Oh wait, G.
Nice.
Smoky Devil. Someone has got to have a word with him, man. They really have. Yeah. Yeah. Someone's got to have a word with him, man. Honestly. Yes.
We had a few. Yeah.
Yeah. He must have had 3 or 4. Yeah. It's. Well, no. I mean, yeah. he's, you know, he's taken me out like every single touring car race, and he. Sorry. Yeah, he's taken me out every race so far. Took me out twice on Sunday. He needs to. I got nothing against the guy, but someone needs to just. He's good. Someone's got to talk to him about driving standards. Anyway. I'm gonna pop to the loo before we get started.
Yeah, he's a bit dodgy, Smokey. He's had lots of penalties last season, and obviously clearly is still not changing it, really, is he? You still there, G? No.
I'm
here.
Oh, hello. Did G say that there's rain for qualifying?
We can have a look now if you go in here. No, doesn't look. Weather for qualifying. Yes, you're right. It is raining for qualifying, but it's dry
for the race.
It's cloudy in the race. Yeah.
Yep.
Bet you had some good weather down where you are today.
Oh yeah, it's been lovely. Yeah, it's been nice today. Lovely yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, pretty nice. So yeah, it's just in that zone at the moment, Cornwall, where because we're still on the tail end of a lockdown. Me and my missus went to St Ives. We're about 10 or 12 miles from St Ives. We went to St Ives, and I mean, I've lived in this area, you know, all my life, and there's not a day that goes by where St Ives isn't packed all year round, right? And we, I say, because we're still in lockdown, we went down there on, what day was that? Friday, was it? Yeah, Friday, and it was absolutely stunning, and there was hardly anybody there. And you know, in all the years I've been down here, I've never seen it like that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it was lovely.
Is that because of lockdown, then?
Because of lockdown, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we were on yesterday. We went up to Watergate Bay, which is just outside Newquay, which is a really popular surf beach. And the tide was out, and I mean, when the tide out, it's I don't know, probably neck end of a mile long. With the tide out, and we were one of about 8 people on the whole beach, you know. So yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it now because come summer, everyone's coming down here.
I can imagine, yeah. When is it? Whenever April 12th onwards and into May.
We can't go abroad.
It's going to be a long summer.
Yeah,
we can't go abroad. That's right. Not at the moment. Yeah, I've got flights booked to bloody Spain, and I'm not sure whether that's going to materialise or not.
No, you might be lucky, my friend. I think, but it's going to be chaos down here in the summer, absolute chaos. But
it will be, People have still got to be careful, right? Even if they've had the vaccination, they just got to be,
but you know what people are like? They don't much care for that. They just kind of do it.
No, I know.
You know?
I know. Well, we saw some of the beaches when they
Bournemouth, wasn't it? Yeah.
Stuff was unbelievable. Was that a couple the mad people jumping off that massive rock? Dumbledore or whatever.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's like a massive kind of thing on the coast, and these, you know, like 20-year-olds that are like,
Yeah.
you know, drunk. You know, I think one guy jumped because they jumped straight in and they ended up breaking his back. I mean,
God, Jesus
all
Christ.
for the fun.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
just showing
again, I
yourself
mean,
off in front of your mates. You know?
yeah. I knew a guy when I used to. When I first started DJing down here, there was a guy who was in a wheelchair who used to DJ, and I mean, and that was another St Ives one. He run and jumped off the pier at St Ives into 2 inches of water, you know, broke his neck, and yeah, that was that.
Christ,
you know,
affects the rest of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
This is why you're always saying to your kids, aren't you? Be careful, don't run.
Yeah. Don't jump off that cliff.
Don't jump off that cliff. We're talking about being dads.
We're talking about stupid young people is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So, just a quick word to you there, G. Don't jump off cliffs.
Yeah, please. Be good.
Cool. Good man. Well done. Good advice, innit?
Tell us when we're in, mate. Lashing it down there, mate.
Yeah, look at that poor girl there in that vest top and a skirt. Look,
vest top and a skirt.
She's freezing, you know, bless her.
She's just, she's happy. She's looking at nothing, but she's happy.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the feature race, the qualifying of the feature race for the Silent X Energy Clio Cup here on Motive Racing. And look, it started absolutely persisting down here at the Horse Thief Mile at Willow Springs. Look at that, Mark. Look at the rain.
Persisting
down.
Oh, it's coming sideways, you can see. And
sideways rain, that's the worst type, isn't it?
The spectators there are still in the t-shirts and shorts. And
that
as we see
enthusiastic girl.
Exit the bill. Yeah, enthusiastic girl jumping up and down.
Yeah, she jumps up and down all the way to all.
There he goes, a little bit enthusiastic himself, Delory there.
So enthusiastic, he's round the back of the grandstand there for a minute, wasn't he?
Exactly, mate. Yeah, absolutely. So, right, well, as we always say, let's go for predictions, and let's do it before we start to see the times coming for the qualies, mate. Give us a view, mate, and I'll tell you mine.
I think you're going to find the usual suspects at the sharp end. John Boy motoring, Andy, Dan, the only G. I'm going to go with my boy Dan. He's great in wet weather conditions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Dan for pole. But we'll see. I mean, we've seen a couple of cars come out straight away and go straight on, because these guys have just done 20 plus laps or whatever it was in the sprint race, and now they've got to come out and do it in the wet. So it's a bit of a reset. Your thoughts, Mark?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to go for a double winner here. I'm going to go for Luty, because I thought he did so well, and because obviously the race is in the dry, right? So not a major change. I know obviously they've got to do a decent lap time here. But I'm going to go for. Look at the puddles already forming on this track. It's really chucking it down. So I'm going to go for Luty. I'm going to go for my outside bet with Luty.
Okay, so I'm going for Dan on Orthodubs. Mark's going for Luty McShooty. So that means it'll be the only G or Andy on pole.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anybody who's in the chat right now, please put in your predictions. Who do you think's going to come in first? It'd be great to see that, and we'll keep an eye out for those races that you've decided on. As looks like Smokey's gone wide there. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking at the chat actually, because I haven't been in the chat. Nikki said Festival of Speed for me this year, Kelly. Excellent. That's on my life list as well. Have you done that one, Mark? Festival of Speed?
No, I haven't. It's definitely on my bucket list to go and do that. It was actually. Laney said to me the other day, have you ever seen those classic cars race round the track there? They're like got minis and old 1960s cars. Wow, they're really pushing those cars. I saw a video on YouTube the other day. So there's definitely. Anyway, I wanted to sort of for the listeners to the viewers, to talk a little bit about Willow Springs. So I've got the Willow Springs International Motorsport Park Wikipedia page open.
I was going to say, there's probably not a lot on that, is there, about the Horse Thief Mile?
There's a few things, but nothing about Horse Thief Mile. You're right, and I think that obviously this track was built, which is alongside the main track. So the main track completely different. We actually raced it in last season's touring car. But what I can share with the viewers right now. So the Willow Springs International Motorsport Park is located in Willow Springs near Rosemont, California, which is about 80 miles north of Los Angeles. So it's obviously going to be a warm, dry...
Oh, sorry, Mark. I don't know if you saw that. Everybody ploughed into that corner.
I did see, yeah. They all followed Luty. So come on, Luty. We've got to get the times up, mate. You're on my bet for tonight, please. Thank you very much.
That's ruined this race.
So, absolutely. So just carry on reading on from this. So it was constructed. It's actually the oldest permanent road course in the United States, apparently.
Right.
The main track, at least, anyway.
Not early 50s, was it? Early 50s?
That's correct, mate. Construction began in 1952, with the inaugural race held on November the 23rd, 1953. So shortly after World War II. So the main track, well, not this track, is 2.5 miles long, and it has been unchanged from its original design in '53, which is quite unusual, actually, isn't it? You can see lots of tracks that go through modifications and changes. So it's quite interesting, that one.
Although I believe the Horse Thief Mile that we're on now wasn't constructed or open until 2003, so I believe.
So it's quite new then, right? Okay.
This particular.
Let me see if I can find something on it outside Wikipedia. There's got to be something about Horse Thief.
Yeah, I know it's just under a mile. I know it's 11 turns, and as I said, I know it was built in 2003. But I think the rest of it is a little bit sketchy on the ground about this. This track.
I found a page.
Right.
I found a page on it. So not on Wikipedia, on something else here. So Horse Thief Mile is a 1 mile track road course with 11 turns, featuring major elevation changes, tight turns, and canyon-like surroundings.
Canyon-like surroundings. It's one of my favourite type of surroundings, isn't it? Yours, Mark?
It's beautiful, mate. Beautiful. The G said it looks quite nice and picturesque in the evening. He's actually been there and taken a lady friend out there, and maybe sort of like, this was sweet nothings to her on Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile track.
Yeah. It's as I said, information on it is quite sketchy. I didn't find a lap record. So who knows? But,
I'll leave it at that. But I'm definitely going to give it a go. Back to your advice. So let's have a look at the lap times. We've got 7 minutes left. The G comes off. He's struggling with a bit of rain there. So we've got Motorin Morgan with the fastest lap at the moment with a 58.629. What were we hitting? We were in 55s in
54s.
The sprint, weren't we?
We did a 54 in practice. I don't think anyone did better than a 54 in practice. Mark, don't you think that the more it rains, the slower the times are going to get here, the wetter this track becomes, and the more puddles that we may have seen the best of this qualifying session already?
Yeah, I think that's a good that's a good summation there, mate. I think it does get tougher as the race goes on. I remember that in GTE last season when we were doing this was in the race as the rain started to come down and these puddles form. They can just get bigger. That's the beauty about this game, is it is pretty realistic from that. You don't just kind of get puddles that form immediately. They grow over the game. And you need to find out where they are. Some of them are in terrible positions. I think I did see one further down. Let's have a see if we can find it. Look, there's one there. Look, right on the corner.
Right at the bottom of that hill.
Yeah, you want to try and go out wide and miss that completely, because if you went into that right now, your car would just aquaplane, right?
Absolutely. We've seen a couple of people come off at that corner, so they're obviously trying to avoid that puddle, as we can see just there, but trying to keep the front. You can see the front ends just struggling to turn in and to gain grip there.
Let's go on board in the rain. Let's have a look and see what it looks like on board.
It's warmer in here.
It's not warm in here.
Yeah.
So it's going out wide, missing that puddle on the inside of the corner there, going back up the hill here. come in not as tight as it would normally be, because obviously they're going a bit more gingerly in these conditions. So coming back down the hill.
Incidentally, that was the pit in just on the right-hand side there. As we come round again, then the pit out is just there.
It's so close now. Look at the couple there, just to make them sort of make go through it, cut in the corner there, back up the hill, trying to do as good a justice as you did earlier on. Coming back in tight into this, the back down to the other part of the track, going down the hill, literally seesawing up down on this track, isn't it?
Yeah, you feel seasick just watching it.
You do feel seasick now. Up, down, there we go, back up the hill, and then we'll be going back down the hill in a second. Oh, we're on a bit of wheel spin there.
Yeah, on the dirt.
On the dirt, as you can see. So let's go back to the timings here, and back to trackside view. So Motoring's, you're right, he's still up there, mate. It's still up there. Yeah, that you put in a good few minutes ago.
I don't think any of the top 3 or 4 has actually changed. I think I feel that we've had the best, the best of this. The best of this.
He's doing well. I think he picked well here. He's second place on this one. It's going to be a exciting start to a proper standing start now, as opposed to a rolling start previously. And let's see how they get on to the first corner. And Dan seems to be. Is he the rainmaster then? Is he like your Verstappen rainmaster?
He's had as you know, I commentate a couple of nights a week, 3 nights a week at the moment, on the Clio Cups with yourself, on the touring cars on yourself, and over at Simplay on a Thursday night. And Simplay had a race at Bathurst, which is another one of those crazy tracks. And Dan had a really good showing at Bathurst in the rain, was considerably quicker than everybody else. And the week before they were at Imola and in the rain, and Dan took a win in the rain as well. So,
he was chuffed with himself. He sent us a message to a WhatsApp group, a ProLaps WhatsApp group, and he was well chuffed with himself.
Why am I not on the ProLap WhatsApp group? God, I feel like I've only had half a contract here. I'm obviously the Bottas of this group, aren't I? You know,
oh God,
don't need to tell him. Don't involve him. He's the Bottas of this lot.
Yeah. Oh, and look, that's put him off now. That's put him off now. That comment you made there. Yeah. Well, maybe Dan will stick with the second place. John Boy's a force to be reckoned with, that guy.
Yeah, he's a quick lad.
Very, very, very fair driver as well. Bless him. You know, I mean, obviously we were fighting for the Touring Car Championship last year, and the race last Sunday, he tapped me out. I went way off, and he slowed down to let me pass. I mean, that's proper gentleman driving, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And that's what we need, isn't it? Absolutely.
That is what we need.
Yes, definitely.
Go on, mate.
Sorry, just look at a couple of the comments. Nicky, your friend, 1953. Do you both remember that? No, you're the only one there, Nicky, in 1953. A bit before our time, that one. And going down and say Dan owned Bathurst. Yes, he did. He was awesome round it. JR Sim Racing. I only see Mazepins. Okay, we don't know what that's about, but Mazepin doing very well in his debut in Formula 1. What did he have? 7th or 8th place overall?
No, he got taken out, didn't he?
No, he scored points. He scored points. I'm sure he did. 8th, 7th, 8th. I'm sure somebody in the chat will put it right. Actually, my missus has gone straight for her phone. She's straight on the Google.
Bless her.
Yeah. Looked it up on the Google, I think it was. We'll see what my memory's like. Pretty rubbish normally, to be fair. I don't remember things I have to, like, can you get milk on your way home? Yes, darling. Forgot that. Oops, sorry, but I can give you race results.
No, Mazepin, I can't see him in the list at all, mate.
No chance of proving too wet, says G on the comments. Yeah, well, I kind of did say that myself, that it's it spun out on the first corner. I thought he scored points.
No, he put out on the first corner. I remember he was the first person to come off, actually.
I'm thinking of who might know? I'm thinking of the other one.
Tsunoda.
That's him.
Yuki.
Tsunoda.
Yeah, the Japanese
That's
driver.
what I was thinking.
The Japanese driver. He's going to be good, I reckon, this season.
Yes. Now he was quick. Ninth he had scored points. Yep. Thank you. That whoever. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Mel J or whatever it is. That was yes. Hence the Mazepins. Right, I'm up to speed now. Mazepin is the rich boy whose billionaire father is sponsoring. It's one down from that, isn't it? Yeah, and he's the one that got told off last season for touching girls in the back of the car and whatever. Yeah. Did you not? Did you not hear about that? I think it was. No, it wasn't quite as bad. It was bad enough. He was fooling around with some mates in the back of a car, like young people do, and it was recorded and put all over social media. And when you're a Formula 1 driver, or you've just been signed as a Formula 1 driver, those things don't go down very well, do they?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But I'm impressed with Yuki.
Yes, quick guy.
Yeah, he's in my fantasy Formula 1 list.
You got some good drivers in that fantasy Formula 1, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got Lando, I've got Ricciardo, Yuki. I managed to spend my money and get Verstappen, and I can't remember who my last Leclerc. So I managed to spend my
Leclerc did well as well.
Yeah, I managed to spend keep my 100 million budget with those drivers because Yuki was cheap, right? But he's apparently pretty decent.
And where does 100 million go these days? Goes nowhere, does it?
Well, it goes nowhere with those guys, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, Mark,
we're done.
So it's all over, and as I predicted, nothing changed. Motor in Morgan is your quickest man on a 58.6. Dan, just 2/10 behind, makes second place. As I say, just 2/10 behind. John Boy in third. Andy comes in fourth. Lucy McShooty in fifth. Six is your only G. The House Rocker in seventh. And I missed the last ones. We are back dry. Look at that enthusiastic girl. Look at the enthusiastic girl. She'll start jumping up and down in a minute.
She's ready.
Yeah, she's ready. She's dried off.
She goes like she's going. Oh, come on, go. Look, go. Time. Go.
Yeah,
and
she'll get enthusiastic in a minute because
there we go.
Yeah, she hasn't moved from that spot for the past 4 hours now.
I know.
But,
need to get to the loo. I'll be dying for the loo by that point.
Absolutely. Watch her. She'll get going in a minute. Anyway, this is the feature race, so we've got a mandatory pit stop. I'm not sure off the top of my head when the pit window opens. Oh, there she goes. Look, there she goes, jumping up and down. Bless her. Yeah, she's applauding for nothing happening. It's a feature race, 45 laps, mandatory pit stop. So that'll stir things up on this race. You've got the quicker guys towards the front now, so we're going to have backmarker issues with a 45 lap race. We definitely will have backmarker issues, so don't go anywhere. If you need a cup of tea, too late, wait. Watch this race first, because I expect this to be good, entertaining racing. The girl on the start-finish line is definitely happy about it. She's had another jump up and down and another clap about absolutely nothing, bless her. And her twin, I think, is in the background, who's got almost exactly the same on. But there you go. Things you look at in the background, isn't it?
Well, you don't get this on any other track. You don't get to see all the
well, you're not looking close enough, Mark, are you?
Well, I'll have to keep more attention.
If you go, look, we're about to start. I'll get back to that in a minute. We're syncing up, so we're ready to go. These guys revs are rising.
2, 1.
And we're away, and Dan with a nice start, but Motor in Morgan is away. Dan's looking down the inside. He's got a little bit of an overlap as they come round the first corner, which is flat scat round there, and it's looking like Dan's going up the inside. He's going to try and make... Oh, Motorin has hit him! No! No, that was rude, to say the very least. So Daniel goes right to the back. Didn't seem we needed any need for that. So that puts John Boy. Lucy McShooty, your boy, has come straight up into second place.
Come on, Lucy.
Dan with all the work to do. He's back there with Andy. I didn't see what happened to Andy. I saw someone rolling in the background, but I couldn't tell you who that was.
There was another tussle, mate. Yeah, there was another couple of guys who tussled together. So, yeah, John Boy's capitalised on this one.
Lucy having a look.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. Right on the chuff of John Boy here. So you can see him sort of doing a little bit of sliding left, right, and sort of really making use of the corners and coming in tight where needed and going out wide, and then chucking really in tight, as you can see here, right at that point, all the way right up the hill here now. They're coming in tight for the next corner and back down to the next part of the seesaw motion as they'll be moving up and down this track, back and forward. So the G's in third, mate, is right up there.
Flying. Yeah, he was 5th or 6th on the grid, was he? He capitalised on the start and from Dan and Motor and having a tussle as Luty goes up the inside of John Boy. Looks like he's going to make it
nice
stick.
Little move, mate.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice move, mate, on the inside.
Yeah, hugged the apex, got it absolutely done. John Boy's got to regroup and go after him again. I noticed that Motorin had gone all the way to the back, so I think he slowed right down and let Daniel pass him, is what I believe, because he was slowing down for sure. So maybe he's gone and done that. There was something on the track there.
I missed it. Yeah, sorry, I just went back down to Morgan, and if he's done that, because Motorin and Dan's, that's fair play to him.
Well, absolutely, and there's times when we don't get things right. It's how you compensate for that, isn't it? Is the key. But look at the G going round the outside of John Boy's going all the way round the outside. Look at that. He's going to be on the apex, inside for the apex of the next turn, and he's going to make it stick. So John Boy, he was all off the track there. What a track limits, G. But John Boy manages to stay there. Luty's back in front, and he's going to check out. Look, he's going to do what he did in the first race.
Go Luty.
Go Luty. I know you're backing him, and I think it was a fair shout, Mark, because he's back in front of this race and moving forward.
Absolutely, mate. And let's just have a look at the gapping on this one. So Luty, if he can keep the consistency, and he had a lot of consistency in last race, he was making no mistakes. He kept that gap of, he went from 3 to 4 to 5 to I think 8 seconds by the end of the sprint race. I believe he had the gap down to. So he certainly got the measure of this track now. And but obviously it's early doors. We're 45 laps, 45 laps, mate, going around this. Time and time again. Your brain would be. You go to sleep, wouldn't you? You'd be going up, down, up, down, up, down. Basically.
Wow. Yeah, it ends up being muscle memory, doesn't it? Like an endurance. But if you get, if Motorin, Luty Matsuti gets into a groove and just stays in that groove, and you almost get tranced by it, Mark, don't you? Do you know what I mean? When you're just doing long runs. And you're not worrying about anybody else. You just got your head in the right space. You just get into a trance and just go with that flow. And that's where Luty needs to be.
You come up with some pork as you do sometimes. You're a bang on. It is right. It is like a trance. You almost become transfixed, and then all of a sudden you start to lose the trance, and you get way out of it, and you start to make mistake after mistake after mistake, and you have to think to yourself, right, stop it. Get yourself back into that trance, get yourself back into that smooth driving. Think about when your braking points are, think about where your gears should be, because that's the other side of the coin, is getting the right gear for every corner, because you're used to getting into that corner in second or getting into that corner in third or whatever. What do you reckon the gearing's like? Because I've not driven this and you have, and I don't know if you've done it in these Clios. What's the gearing you're going to get to typically coming into these corners? Second gear? Third gear on any of them? What do you reckon?
Probably second gear up around the top, I would have thought.
Tight ones.
And very easy to, and again, it's about being smooth, isn't it? And I can talk a great race. I don't know if I can drive a great race, but I can certainly talk one. And it has been, it's very easy. Drop down these hills. It's like you downshift really, really quickly. End up finding yourself like in first gear. And you think, well, I wanted to be in second, really. So again, it's about being smooth. It's about being consistent, and about something going on in the background now. I think that was Melted Dazza just put one over on Delore, I think, or Delore on De Huis is what that I think was that
Delore and De Huis, they're very close. Yeah, looks
just in the background. But I think it's again, so much about motor racing is go slower to go faster. It's very easy to get frustrated. It's very easy to try and hustle the car and you just end up going backwards and not forwards. You know, the more frustrated you get, the less that you gain, really. Do you know what I mean?
Whenever I've been on, no, totally agree. Whenever I've been on track days and I've been in with a, a pro driver who takes you around in your car.
Yeah.
He says that smooth movements. Yeah. Look for the apexes. Don't do knee-jerk movements. And you've got to listen to these people. They know what they're doing, right?
Yeah. Break in a straight line. Pick your apex up. Don't accelerate until you're ready to accelerate. You know, don't on and off the throttle. Don't act sore at the wheel. Just keep smooth lines and be cool. Really, you know. And that's again, like we were saying earlier, the likes of Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Ayrton Senna, all those guys who are epically smooth, are quick, and that's what it's about. And Lutey hasn't broken away from John Boy, and I think Lutey had a bit more breathing space at the beginning because he was quite near the front to start with, but he's keeping a nice steady gap. He's got a second, and all he needs to worry about is what's in front of him and not what's behind him. You know?
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. He's keeping a decent distance. He's not making too many. Look, when they go over that little, you can see the suspension kicks. This is so good. This game. The suspension kicks as he goes down that little lane.
Can you imagine what Project Cars 3 or 4? We've had a 3, haven't we? And it was rubbish.
Yeah, 3.
Imagine what 4 is going to be like on the next generation consoles. You've got PS5. You must know what it's like and how it performs.
Well,
I mean, this game is going to be.
Yeah, there's not really that many games on the PS5, especially sim games. It's still sort of the ones that are compatible with PS4. I mean, the only difference you see is the load times. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But you're bang on. I mean, this
Imagine
game
how good it's going to be, or it could be.
Well, visually, look at this game. The design for the PS4. I mean, it's just the development. I work in the IT industry, so I know how hard and how good it is for the guys that spend hours and years building these games.
Quite right.
They've done so well on this. It's just a shame that they took a different route with version 3. Is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Let's move on. This is still great. I mean, and that's
and let's not forget, Mark, that this game is 4 years old, and 4 years old in IT and gaming terms is a lifetime.
Is an eon. You're right. You're bang on there. It's a long time.
And I mean, I haven't. Really I don't play a Assetto Corsa, and I've never even been on it. I've watched some sim racing on a Assetto Corsa on TV, but I know there's kind of love-hate relationships with Assetto Corsa, with people who think it's fantastic and others think that it's hard going. So I mean, this game. I mean, as I say, you imagine a Project 4 on the new generation consoles is going to be, it's potential to be absolutely epic, isn't it? And I look forward to that day.
Definitely, mate. And more Motive will be
all over it.
PS5, and Simplay will be doing a PS5.
Yeah.
Project Cars 4 leagues. We're all going to be a little bit older.
Yeah.
There'll be coronavirus behind us.
That'd be nice.
We'll have been to the pub that evening.
And every evening.
And every evening. and long may we look forward to that day. So just going back on, so Lutey still
G's getting a bit
sort of he's close to John Boy, isn't he?
Yeah, getting a bit handy on John Boy is. I think this is one worth watching. Giving him a couple of little taps to say, come on, John Boy, I'm right here, let's go, let's go.
I'm ready. I need you to go faster because I've got plenty more in the tank here till we crack on.
Yeah, these guys in close company. There's a bit of a gap as they drop back to Melted Dazza, like 3 or 4 seconds back from there. He's pretty much sitting on his own there at the moment, isn't he? All on his own.
Bit lonesome. The lorries then next to Melted, and he's a little bit of a gap. And then we got to who? Someone's just gone a little bit wide. I think it's
Vigla going wide.
Yeah,
up the inside. That was a late one. Made his stick go.
Yeah.
I think De Huis was very kind on him there. I think he may have seen him coming and thought, right, get out of the way. He's coming through. So Lewis goes wide. That's going to kill him being out there. Look, 2 places that cost him.
Yeah.
And look,
you said
still
that earlier,
going
didn't
slow.
You get bogged down there, don't you? Plus you're going uphill as well.
Yeah, you do.
The
It's like
revs
you
are
just
low.
drop into a sand pit. Well, it is like kind of sand stuff, isn't it? We're in the middle of the desert here in California.
Plus you're on the hill and your revs are low, so you have to get it back down to first. When you said it the other day, a couple of weeks ago, saying trying to find your gears as you kind of when you've done a spin and you get yourself into trying to get down at first, it's like down. You just can't get it. It takes bloody ages sometimes.
Yeah,
but Dan
absolutely.
managed to get him. He took advantage a little bit of to who's coming off and got himself up into 7th place. So he's second off the league race. So I have all the faith in Dan. Still a fair bit to go, mate. We've got 13 out of 45.
We got pit stops to go, and that's gonna change things as I remember. It's a strange little. Look, see, there we go. There's someone else going. That was Vigla.
The league race just gone off. Yeah, absolutely, and is been passed by Motoring as well.
Motoring's going to get round him. What is it? The first downhill hairpin, I think it is. As I say, you run wide out of that one, and it is. Or you wait till you have a go, Mark. You will end up out there. The first couple of laps, it will catch you out, and you will end up out on the dirt out there. And once you're out there, the car comes to a standstill. It's like it just digs in and sinks.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get it going again. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah, definitely have a go in it. So
yeah, I would for sure. Just having a quick.
Not much change. Go on, mate. Carry on.
I was just going quick through the comments. We got Kurt in here talking with Nikki. Nikki says, should we go to the bar? Kurt said,
yes,
you're going to have to wear your knee-length skirt this time. I have standards. That's not what I heard. No worries.
Nikki
I'll
would
go
do
change.
That, Nikki would do that. I'm telling you, for any bit of a laugh, he would do it just for it. And I think there's going to be a few people going a bit mad in the next few days.
Absolutely, and there is talk of a whole load of us getting together at Donington for the touring car race, and I'm hoping some of you Prolapse boys come along.
I'll be up for that. There's a thing I did say. I've driven on Donny, and there's a hotel. There's a nice curry house. I bet you said you don't like curry.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we said.
But I'm also a Chinese man as well. So
there we go.
Chinese or whatever. I don't know. Or we'll, whatever we'll do. Yeah, I'll be up for that. Definitely.
Well, I certainly know Matt from Simplay is going to Donington Park for the touring car, and so am I, and my missus, and Daniel's coming with us as well. So there's a few of us already. So more the merrier.
For the tickets. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, indeed. So if you guys turn up, that would be great. And Nicky in. Well, I'd rather he don't wear his knee-high skirt, to be fair. But
never know.
There we go.
He's game for anything, that man.
Well, I've heard this.
He's a nutter.
Yeah.
He's a nutter. But we do love him, and he's spot on. Such a genuine character. So let's go have a look.
Sorry, mate. Just finishing off the comments, and we've got. I'm running. How are we going to pronounce that? Let me push that one round to my missus and see if she can pronounce that for me. Oh, she can't see it. Here we go. Age for you. How do you pronounce his name? No, I don't know, but Rackmedge or something like that. Compliments again for great commentary. Very fun, so informative. No, honestly, I enjoy. So, hey, he's my new best friend. How about you, Mark?
Oh, bless you. Absolutely.
You can come again,
it's nice
my
to get
friend.
Great comments. You can come again, and it's nice to get great comments because I really enjoy commentating with Kelly. And
I enjoy it more driving, Mark. To be fair,
it's easy. I think next season. I'm going to be doing more commentary and less driving because I think you'll leave it to these young uns to have a go, mate. I'll probably still stay on a Saturday with the Prolapse guys. We have such a laugh on a Saturday, mate. It's such a crack. And Dan's joined the chat. Oh, hang on, someone's gone off there. Who's gone off there? Let's have a look. I'll try and go back.
I think that was somebody at the back.
Melted.
No, that's melted. One of the yellow cars. Is it Andy? It's Andy, isn't it?
Hang on, looks like someone's gone off.
Oh, the only G has a huge accident. Oh, that was it. It's been doing some jumping. Thinks he's Dukes of Hazzard.
A proper Dukes of Hazzard, wasn't he? He was about to
John
jump
Boy
the
in the
bridge
pits
and everything.
as well. It's all started to liven up all of a sudden. I think that was
someone drop out, mate.
That was Andy.
Drop out.
I'm sure that was Andy going off the track, and he dropped out. I'm sure we'll find out what happened to him very shortly. We're down to 10 runners. We're down to 10 runners. John Boy has made his pit stop, so he's done his. The only G is in second place because John Boy has done his pit, but Luty's still out in front. So I haven't seen anybody else pit just at the moment. So again, just quickly going back to the comments. Kurt saying he lives in Reading. I'd be down for that. Well, we'll see you there. And just call me, what's that? Racky,
Racky, yeah.
Like Rack from Racket, Rack from Racket. Rack. So we call him Rack. Yes. Okay. Just call me Rack. Rack, glad to have you on the comments. You're our new best friend. Stick around, Rack. Yes. We like you.
Nice to have some nice comments from people on
Mark,
on that.
Started raining.
Yes, I had no idea. Didn't know that was in the profile of the game.
It's not only started raining, it started properly raining.
So we've just got into the pits. I'm going to have to go on cockpit view because it's one of those, a bit like it was at Donington where you can't really see.
Yeah, brilliant. That's the one.
So DeHuis Rocker is in the pits. We've got Delory also in the pits. God, it's a really tight pit. Let's just watch Delory go. I've not seen. I've not driven.
Look, there's a burger van there. Just can we get a couple of coffees and a bacon roll?
Could do with the burger.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Such a tight exit.
And
it's like a go-kart.
It's not permanent garages either, just old gazebos. As we see Deloitte, and we've lost someone else. Who else have we lost? We're down to 9 drivers. Who have we lost?
PSN playing out. Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look at the list here. Get my mobile phone.
Luty, the only G, Melted Daz, Unorthodox, Motor Morgan, John Boy, Smoky Devil, Delore and Vigla. Who are we? The Whois Rocker.
So we've got Jay, WSJ's out. WSJ's out.
WSJ, the Whois Rocker, Andy, and they've all gone. Anybody else?
So we've got Peligre still in. We've got the Whois in. No, that's it, bud. They're the 3. So Jay. No, we didn't have Jay in. Jay didn't drive. So Peligre, Andy, and DeHuis have been kicked.
Yeah, they've been gone for whatever reason. PSN. To be honest,
I think that would be PSN for you. It's what did me. You'll probably find, and we'll ask Andy in the commentary box after. Did he still have internet access at home? Because if that's the case, then that's PSN kicking people out. Unfortunately,
we had some trouble with it the other night on touring cars. We had trouble with it before touring car on Sunday night. Yeah. So so
internet gods, mate.
What's that?
Internet gods. It's down to the internet gods.
Yes, absolutely. So the question is, Mark, how hard is this rain going to be, and is it going to have an effect on the race? Because those ones who've already pitted, like who have we got? John Boy's pitted, and a few others who've already pitted.
It would have been a stop and go, wouldn't you thought? Most of them.
Well, yeah, they would have been, but are they going to have to pit again if it gets so wet that we need tyres? What do you reckon?
Mate, it's a great question, and we've got 23 laps left.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Depends on how persistent. Look, yes,
we are getting spray now. Look, yeah. And Luty's
interesting.
I think that's Smokey in the background who's
just gone off.
Wide. Yeah, the only G comes past him. Are we going to be needing wets? Look, it's starting to get wet around there already. Look.
I reckon, buddy. I reckon. Let's see, and I'll keep my eye out on the pit marker on the leaderboard to see if anybody comes in for wets, and see if they do actually change to wets as well.
Well, of course, as we know, taking a pit stop for tyres on project cars takes ages. We've said it many times, and I think if the project cars mechanics were real, they probably would have strung me up by now, because every week I say how incredibly useless they are. If you want your headlights changed, they are the boys. Other than that, they take forever to do anything. So we know a tyre change takes a long time. So Oh, as we see Smokey go.
Smokey's gone off. He's
yeah.
really gone off. Look at that.
Yeah,
Dukes of Hazzard, mate.
Yeah, and knock some of those orange blocks around as well. Yeah, that all went very badly. So it's getting really wet out there. So as we see Luke struggling.
This might play into the hands of people who've decided to lap later in the race, right? Sorry, to pit later in the race, who maybe are thinking about changing their pit strategy while they're driving. Which, to be honest, I don't know if you've done it, is not an easy thing. And with a track like this, where you've got no straight,
where you're concentrating, absolutely.
Where you're concentrating, it's fine when you've got a nice, decent straight, and you can go right, tick, tick, down, I'll change the race strategy, blah, blah, blah. Because most people, if they're half know what they're doing on this game, is they've got multiple pit strategies, right? One's with tyres wet, one with tyres dry, one's with no tyres, one with damage. Obviously we don't have damage on this, but some people who've not gone in, Smokey's just gone in. We missed him, he's coming back out.
I don't know what he's on tyres wise.
He may have gone into wets straight away. You can't see it from the game, it doesn't show it from the
No.
So,
well, all the way from Luty down to Dan, so first down to 6th, in my from what I've been seeing, haven't pitted. And look at the lap times. We're down in the 1 minute 1s, the 1 minute 2s, 1 minute 3s. So the lap times are dropping, and it's getting wetter and wetter out there. So if this rain continues,
losing it.
That puddle's starting to form at the bottom there again.
It's going to need to. They're going to need to come in and change into wets, mate. I would be seriously thinking. We've got 20 laps left. You can't struggle lap after lap.
Right, Luty's in the pit.
Luty's in pit. Let me have a quick look. See if I can. See if he's going to go and chase cam. He's lost it. It's gone. We missed it. Right. Let's see if they're changing tyres here. Let's have a look. Yes, they're changing to. It's changing to wets.
Yeah.
On the fronts and the rears. Yes.
They'll move to the rears, won't they, when they've finished?
Yeah.
Here we go.
A different view. Here we come.
So Luty is definitely going on wets.
Absolutely. Looks like Smokey's come back into the pits. Maybe
he's probably going to go for wets as well.
He's lost it. Oh, hang on. The pits are both sides of this. It's not on one side, is it?
No.
Okay. But somebody else is coming in. Look, Dan's coming in.
Dan's coming in.
You're right, mate. They're all coming. Look at this pit.
It's like great, isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, he's changing his tyres. I'll be interested to speak to Dan. So did you change your pit strategy while you were driving around the track? How did you manage to do it, Dan? Would be the question I would want to ask, with all these ups and downs and lefts and rights.
Probably took about 4 laps to do it. Well, it would me.
It took about 4 laps. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love the way these guys have got a single bolt wheel gun, like Formula 1, but have to do up 5 wheel nuts.
Yeah, well, special.
Yeah, they are special, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I'd say they'd probably
special.
give me a kick in if they were real, because I moan about them all the time.
So we've seen, who did we see come in before Dan? So Dan's come in, Luty's coming in for
Luty
wets.
was in,
Dan's come in for wets. Let's see their lap times, mate.
What's G going to do with this now? G's now in
he's
front.
Still on wets.
Is he
on dries, I mean.
Yeah, is he managing to keep it going forward at a quick enough time? I think we need to keep an eye on John Boy's times. Luty's times. When he gets a couple of laps in, look at sideways action through there.
Really doing
it's like Tokyo Drift out there. So we need to keep an eye on Luty's times and see where he is. G's in the 103s at the moment. And so's Luty. So so if Luty's times start to tumble real quick, then G's going to have problems. If they stay around the right time and G stays out and just does he could stay out till lap. If he's controlling his slide and it doesn't get any worse, in effect he could stay out until lap 44 and just do a very quick pit stop.
Absolutely. I mean, totally, mate. If he's on slicks, you can. I was just saying, he's loving it. You can see he's just peppering the accelerator and the brake as he's coming in, getting in the right position, sliding his back end out, tightening it back in. He looks like he's controlling it. You're bang on. Let's wait and see how these times compare.
Yeah.
So 103 is just about to go over the line with a 102.
It's going quicker. Yeah.
102, and Luty's in a 1. So Luty is certainly made the right decision by, if he's making 2 seconds a lap on him, Let's see, Dan's at 103. He's still getting himself into order on that. Nobody else has come into the pits though, mate.
No.
Looking at it.
Luti's was ahead of G when they went into the pits, not by a lot as I remember. So the more the more that Luti goes quicker, the more that he's going to reel G in when the pit stops go. But as I said, if G can stay out on slicks and do a standard pit stop, he'll save himself like 20-25 seconds by putting tyres on. So that's where it could all change in this race.
He's certainly keeping it together by the looks of it. It looks pretty slick. 2 seconds a lap slower, and Luti's 101. So it's not that significant of a gap.
No, and I'm thinking that Luti, if G goes with a strategy of staying on slicks and can handle it and takes it to the end, Luti's got to catch G by, oh God, he's got to, what we got? 15 laps left.
15
he wants
laps,
to be going, I don't know, maybe 2.5-3 seconds a lap quicker than G.
Quicker.
I don't know. I mean, I'm surmising here. Do you know what I mean? And
it's worth a go.
Yeah, you know. As I say, I don't know what's going on in G's head. He's quick enough and skilled enough to hold on to this in the wet. And is the rain going to stop? Oh, so many variables, Mark.
So many options, mate.
Isn't there?
Absolutely.
My head hurts talking about it.
It's cool. It's really cool. Them adding this. It's starting to get a bit sunny though.
Yeah, maybe it'll dry out.
Maybe it'll dry out. Who knows? That's cool. That's a really good choice of the weather patterns that have been chosen in this. So Luta's 102, John Boy's 103. John Boy has already been in. I believe he's already been in. Can you confirm that?
No,
mate?
I don't know if John Boy has.
Well, okay.
I don't know if he has, because Luti was look, Luti was leading. He's now 42 seconds behind the leader, and he's a good 20 or just under 20 behind John Boy. John Boy hasn't stopped yet, I don't think. If he has,
so it's all
then he obviously
change,
only
mate.
went for slicks, didn't he? Or did he stop and go for slicks? Somebody's going to put me right on the chat in a minute. I'm sure they will.
Somebody knows, please let us know.
Has John Boy pitted already? People, that's what we're asking.
People. Help Kelly and Story here, please.
Help the aged, and
help the aged.
let us know if John Boy's already pitted. If he has, then he would have not changed to wets. I'm pretty much sure that. Someone in the background, I think it's Vliga again, in the background into the hedge. One of the green cars. Or it might have been Dan actually. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. There was a green car on the side. Dan's in green and Vliga's green, and Vliga's left. So that would probably be him that was in the hedge. But
that's a shame.
Yeah, but Dan not on a on a 101 now. But his last lap was quite a slow one. So we're down to 8 runners now. So they're dropping like flies. Motoring Morgan in the pits. And what's he going to do? Is it drying out? Is there less rain? I'm not sure. In the distance, looks right.
Yeah, I mean it's still a bit of a spray, but I think it may dry out.
I don't see
cat amongst the pigeons.
I don't see actual rain falling, or not so much falling as there were. There is rain, isn't there? I can see it now. But is there so much? I don't know.
We were talking about the gearing, so I've just put the I don't know if you can see it on your screen.
Oh yeah, the speedo up,
the speedo on. So just having a look with
let's see with Delore
on board.
Be interesting.
Go on board with him as well. So 4th gear up the hill here, and a little bit wide there. Definitely getting drier, mate. It's not raining anymore.
No, it's blue sky there. Look.
Second gear.
First gear at the top there. Look.
First gear at the top. Yeah. Certainly get up the revs quickly going downhill.
Yeah.
3rd gear, 2nd gear. Back into
down first again.
Yeah.
Sun's shining, my friend. I think G's called it right, you know.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate.
Surprised that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like racing against Lewis Hamilton, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely good. First gear. Back again. So it seems to be first gear, seems to be the gear that they're all, well, at least Delore's still using these.
But they don't pull. Doesn't look like they pulled much more than about 4th gear on the infield, did they? I mean, coming down through here, 4th, 3rd, 4th. He then pulls 4th.
Yeah, that's right. The setup they would have obviously been a gearing for lower gear ratios, right? So because there's another not gone wide again, twice has gone wide.
Yeah, he likes that wide line. It's not good to him, but he likes it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a shame we've lost 4 people now. Maybe internet connections, but the G is absolutely, doing extremely well on this race at the moment. John Boy's 26 seconds behind him. Got a tall order, especially if he's got a pit. I don't know if anyone's come back with an answer yet on that.
No, they haven't yet.
Yeah, so now we'll look at Luty, and he's on dries still. Wets. So maybe as this starts to really dry out, his tyres are going to overheat, mate.
That'll be the same for Dan as well, because we're pretty sure that Dan was on wets, but Luty was winning this race, of course. So this he could have thrown this away with going in and making a pit stop. And I mean, we said it back then. Does he want to be? Is that G coming up to lap Luty? That is, isn't it?
Is it? Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
and Lucy's just gone off wide there by the looks of it. And maybe
G
Dan
stopped, so I don't know if did he nudge him? Did he give him a nudge?
Maybe he did. Yeah, usual good manners by G there. So yeah, G's certainly been the rainmaster here on the slicks, hasn't he?
Sure.
Superb driving, and he's now obviously going to be lapping Luty. Look at there we go. He was just about to say, Luty's done the gentlemanly thing and let G by. And that's a lesson, I will say.
What?
To
Pay attention,
everybody
people.
out there. Well, basically, yes. When you've got somebody who's quicker than you, right, who's clearly lap after lap quicker than you, do the gentlemanly thing and pull over, because if you fight corner on corner on corner, it does you no good.
Well,
look at him.
I think it depends on the situation, of course. If you're fighting with someone for a championship and points matter and so on and so forth, then it's whatever.
That's
but
right.
If you're gonna,
but when you're talking back markers, who are nowhere near the top end.
Absolutely, back markers need to get out of the way. And I mean, this is one of those tracks where it's so tight and so unpredictable. What these little cars are going to do, you've got to forgive a couple of mistakes on this one, but the whole reason for us racing in sim kind of setups like Motive and Simplay and people like that, the reason we do it is because we want to drive correctly, do we not? Because if you want to drive like a Muppet, just go and drive with all the other Muppets in a general lobby,
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to drive a GT3 round Monza and somebody crash into the side of you when you get beside them, go and play with all the other Muppets. We play this because we want to play like who's that gone in? That's Dan again. He wants to get off those wets, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He knows he knows he's not really in it, but he wants to enjoy the race on decent tyres, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's probably struggling too much. I mean, his last lap was a 102, but I mean, the G's back in the 56s, look, and John Boy's in the 56s. Melted Dazza, I think John Boy pitted. I really do. Here comes G into the pits. So now we'll see. We'll see.
Dan's not.
Is he stuck?
What's he doing?
He might be stuck. We've seen this happen a few times. We saw it with Gary.
He's moving off now. He's moving off now.
He's moved, yeah. G's having tyres. Oh, no, he's not. No.
G looked like G was on wets. The ones that pulled aside were wets.
Looks like, it looks like they were changing tyres, but I don't know.
Interesting.
So John Boy is now in the lead of this race, and if he did pit, well, this is a masterstroke then, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
If he did pit,
yes.
He's got, who's that in front of him? Delore, is it maybe? Who's being lapped as John Boy puts a lap on. Get off that mud, get off that mud. Here's the only G, look. The only G coming up behind him. But I reckon John Boy may have just put a master stroke on here, Mark.
Let's see this, mate. Yeah, absolutely. That's assuming that John Boy has pitted. I still don't know whether that's the case.
Nobody, everybody in the chat obviously nodded off, haven't they? You know,
absolutely.
They've obviously nodded off with you and me talking rubbish repeatedly. But
absolutely, yeah. Let's see if the G can manage to sort of gain anything on John Boy. John Boy's still running at a pace there behind a black marker there. Back to the G.
Yeah, and who's this they're coming up to? Who's this they're coming up to lap? It would be Luty, wouldn't it? Luty,
my bet. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So what we achieved, Mark, was you and me managed to ruin Luty's and Daniel's race by backing them this evening. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Commentator's curse. Yeah, absolutely. Just as the late great, I must say, the late great Murray Walker. He's a few of the people used to say, he used to give a few commentators' curses in his time.
Yes, he did. Bless him.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you watch the tribute to him on the Formula One? Yeah, it was nice with
absolutely.
Some of the comments made by Nigel Mansell
and we all grew up with him, didn't we? Well, we did. The ones who remember. You know, I mean, he hasn't commentated on Formula One for over 20 years. So it was 2001 when Murray left commentating full time. Although he kept his hand in right up till close to the end, didn't he? Because he still did a lot of kind of guest commentating and stuff like that. So I believe. But he quit Formula One in 2001, which was I say 20 years ago. Doesn't seem that long ago, does it? You know.
It doesn't seem that long ago, and his partner in crime there was Martin, wasn't it?
Yeah, he brought Martin Brundle through, didn't he? But way back in the day, it was James Hunt. Hunt, the ultimate F1 driver, wasn't he? The ultimate party. Yeah, he was rock star F1 driver, wasn't he, James Hunt?
Yeah, whining and dining, womanising, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, bless him.
And look at this, mate. Look at here. We've got John Boy and the G's right on John Boy's tail now. Look at that.
Yeah, so it's going to get all very tasty in the last 5 laps. G's on a mission. He's pulled in. He's hunting him down really quite quick. So now he's got to find a way through. G's got a lovely line. Didn't use it there, but it's got a lovely tight apex around some of these hairpins. So he's looking for an opportunity. But John Boy's no slouch. Look at that! And G takes a look up the inside. Is he going to make that stick? I think he's going to, But John Boy comes back at him round the outside, and more traction off the corner as they go at it for another lap. Let's hope that this stays clean.
Absolutely. Do you wonder whether some of the corners that they've put, the furrows and the holes actually get bigger? Have they even included that in the game? It seems like these holes are getting bigger. You know, the ones that they've cut, if you see some of the corners, they're like...
when the dirt's kind of...
falling in. Well, the dirt's gone away.
Yeah, well, I haven't really noticed, to be fair. I was going to say to you that I was going to say before we started this race, as this is really hotting up into quite the battle, this one, as they're chopping and changing lines, as G looking left and right, it's whatever. You've got to have a look round in the background of some of these races, and if you go to Ruda Easter, do you remember that one? We did touring car there last year, French track.
Love that track.
That track. Well, if you look in the background, because the track is a road course from the 1960s, all the background, in the background there's like Mark 1 Escorts and
you said that on
stuff like that, So
yeah, I'll have to look out for that. I was too busy trying to win the championship.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't do so well at it. I was too busy watching the background. Oh look, there's
looking
an
at the
escort there.
escorts.
Yeah, there's an escort there.
Escort, I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But back on the race then. So we got John Boy still managing to keep the G at bay.
Back marker gets out of the way.
Yeah, good driving there, whoever that is. Was
Dan, that was
probably pulling over. Yeah, fair play.
16, Dan, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's down to these two because John Boy's, way off. So let's keep with these front two because we've only got 3 more laps to go, and that'll be gone in the blink of an eye, as we know. It's going to be an interesting end to this race. So let's make the assumption that John Boy has pitted. We've answered our own question.
Yeah,
I know there's.
If he doesn't, he'll be in this lap.
Yeah.
So close, aren't they?
So close.
So close. Oh, G gets a little bit squirrely under braking. Can't make it stick there. John Boy covers the inside and covers it all the way down the hill. Takes the apex, brakes in deep and avoids the puddle, but manages to keep it all in the right direction. G swapping from one side to the other, trying to find that cut. Dan's just coming along for the ride now. He's a lap down, but he's just staying with these guys. Probably just enjoying the battle, to be fair. As again, G likes to go up the inside of this one. He switches to the inside here, look. No room there. John Boy's got that one covered off. He's seen that one coming from a mile away. So we go 2 laps to go. John Boy must have pitted. Thanks all those who helped us out on the chat. Next time I won't bother asking you lot. So John Boy must have pitted because they're on the 44th lap. And G still looking for a gap anywhere he can to try and get down the inside. No, he ain't going to make it stick there. John Boy covers that off as they're down round into the hairpin. Once more, the downhill hairpin. Mind the puddle. Up the hill again. Watch G swap to the inside.
This is another example of the great driving of the G. He's basically not taking any lunges, any stupid manoeuvres.
No,
he's very considerate.
Yeah, but he is trying to unsettle, trying to find that opposite line to John Boy and make it stick is what he's trying to do. But of course, it also unnerves John Boy. I mean, look, he's almost in the car with John Boy, isn't he? You know, as they go on to the last lap. So this is going to be a last lap for the race. Let's see how this pans out. This is G's got probably 3 opportunities to make this happen. He's got one here. John Boy's covered to the inside already. G's got to go round all the way round the outside. John Boy's got him covered off. Runs across over to the left-hand side of the track. Picks up the apex on the downhill. Is going down into hairpin. Watch out for the puddle. He's got that one covered off. Brings it back in. G again trying to unsettle him. G's followed right in his tracks this time. Up round this hairpin. They're going to come down the hill just for the last time. Not so much overtaking. G goes back end, goes a little bit. This is going to be his last opportunity here. G takes that wide line again, tries for the inside. Got his nose in there. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. I think it's going to be John Boy, Mark. I think it's going to be John Boy for this win.
Yeah.
And he had to work for it.
Fantastic.
Fantastic
that was
win.
Superb, mate. Superb from both of them. Great win by John
driving.
Boy. Great driving by the G, very considerate as always. That's the kind of stuff that we're here to watch. That kind of tight, close racing. That was it. That was last 3-4 laps. So exciting.
Absolutely.
Great commentary. Commentary by you in the last couple of laps then, mate. That made it for me. Thanks, buddy.
Excellent, for sure. And just very quickly then, Mark, who's your driver of the day as we see Motoring Morgan come in to take the last step on the podium in 3rd place?
Motoring Morgan just get the other drivers over the line. Melty Jasner in 4th. Yeah. Luty, my man.
What could have been for Luty? Wrong tyres.
So who's my driver of the day?
Yeah.
You know, watching that towards the end, I've got to give it to John Boy. He's won the race. He defended really, really well there. And he just kept it together. We were a bit confused about his pit stops and what was going on there, but John Boy's my man, mate.
Yep, absolutely, and that's a very fair shout. I think we should give him an honourable mention to Luty McShooty. Won race 1 comfortably, was leading race 2 comfortably, and I think just the wrong shout on tyres is what ruined his race, really. John Boy took that earlier pit stop.
Luty got the fastest lap, mate. Luty got the fastest lap, just to let Luty got the fastest lap. Luty got the fastest lap.
My driver of the day, I'm going to pick Luty. Purely because I think he was just unlucky on strategy. He would have been right there at the end of it if he hadn't gone on to the wets when he did. So so that's for me. Luty's going to be my driver of the day.
Good shout.
Yeah,
Good shout.
absolutely. So. Well, let's wrap things up, shall we? That's the Clio's done. I don't know where we go to next. Have you got it in front of you, Mark? Where we go next?
I will tell you if you just bear with me.
Okay. Well, I'll do some of the corporate stuff, shall I? If you're still watching, do the like, subscribe, go onto Motive's website. If you want to get involved, go onto motiveracing.com and get involved there. Big thanks to our sponsors for the Clio Cups being the Silent X Energy. Go and have a look at their website and get involved, try their drinks. Thank you to all the Motive team for everything they do, for putting all this stuff on so we can commentate on it and you guys can enjoy the racing. We are going to where next, Mark?
Texas Road Course, mate.
Texas Road Course. That'll be interesting, won't it?
Another hot track, another dusty track, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Texas, right?
So that's next week, this time, this place, next Tuesday. In between now and then, I'll try and tell you what's what, and Mark will help me out in between. Tomorrow night, ACC, I believe it is, GT3, I believe. Thursday night, nothing on Motive on Thursday night, but come over and join us on Simplay. I'll be commentating with Matt Duffin on the GT3's last round of the season at Rapuna Park on Thursday nights. Friday nights, Formula Renault.
Formula One,
beg your pardon. Formula One.
Yeah.
Friday nights, Saturday nights, Formula Renault.
Saturday night, and GT3 Saturday, and Formula Renault later in the evening.
Later in the evening, and then the big one, the one worth watching. Forget all the rest. Come round for Sunday nights, the MBTTC. TCC, one of them. The Motive British Touring Car Championship, following the British Touring Car tracks as much as humanly possible. I believe we're at Orton Park Island on Sunday night. I will be driving in Tier 2 badly and commentating very well in Tier 1. Mark will be in Tier 1 trying to defend his championship. So best of luck for that. Final words, Mark.
Pleasure to be with you. That's the first comment I want to make, as always.
As always, thank you very much, and yourself.
And great racing. I mean, you definitely want to give that a go. And a big shout out to the sponsor. Can you please remind me of the name of the sponsor?
Silent X Energy.
Silent X Energy. Big shout out to them.
It's an energy drink that's unlike other energy drinks. It's plant-based. I think it's plant-based. So it's an energy drink that's actually quite good for you, instead of pumping you full of caffeine and making you into a lunatic.
Lunatic, absolutely. So I just want to close by saying thank you, mate, and thank you to all the drivers. Congrats to John Boy, and congrats to Luty in the first race, and see you all again soon.
Absolutely, and I echo that, Mart. A pleasure to commentate with you. Look forward to it every week. Thank you to all those guys in the chat, all those watching, and all those guys who watch later on in the week. Thank you ever so much. So from me, from Mart, from all the team at Motive, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you and good night.
Wow.
Good race, Jay.
Awesome.
That was awesome to commentate on the last 5 laps.
Did you go on wets? You was on wets, weren't you? You was on what dries?
On dries. He was on slicks, wasn't he?
Throughout the whole lot, but you then went into the pits to change to what? To another set of slicks. Go on.
No, you didn't change tyres, did you?
It was just stop and go, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, got it. Yeah, you did brilliantly, mate, to stay out on the... you can see you're having fun. Certainly the Rainmaster. And John Boy, fair play to him, he defended well, didn't he?
That's why Luty tripped up, wasn't it? Because he went on wet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool to watch. So yeah, so he stayed on the same set of slicks. Wow.
Slicks, yeah, I thought that's what he did. Yeah, but John Boy obviously stayed on slicks as well, but just pitted earlier. Was hot and just got his head down, didn't he? So
yeah,
good race.
That was great, mate. That was great to see. Showing we had a few people who got kicked out. I don't know if Andy's back. Yeah, Andy's back again. You there, Andy?
I don't think he's in the party. I think it's only you and me in the party, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think G's gone back to game chat.
He's gone to chat with people.
Oh, hello, Dan. Yeah, you went on slicks, didn't you? Wets, didn't you? Yeah, well, motoring took you out.
How does that work then, Dan, with regards to the race? If I'm looking at it on the screen, what weather which shows clouds and then forecast further clouds? How does we don't know what's in the middle?
Jeepers on Discord, so everyone can see on the Discord what the weather's going to be like.
That's one thing, because I'm not in touring car championship, I can't see what's in the
Well, I'll give you a little tip, Mark. Be ready for wet for the rest of the season. Is that fair to say, Dan? There's a lot of wet races.
Just to bring the BMWs a little bit more competitive, me and Gary can't fight against the drive. It's not fair. So I thought over a couple of wet races and we'll see how things go. And just give me and Gary a bit more of an advantage in the way the tires die pretty quick. So, but I don't know what the fuck Morgan was playing at.
No.
If it's was, he was trying to get what was the point? What's the point in doing the toe at this circuit?
No point whatsoever. It looked like he come. I think if you go back on the stream, Dan, I think you're looking down the hill when the incident happens, and it looks like. I mean, he obviously he came across and tapped you and took you both out. Although he did slow right down and wait for you, didn't he?
Yeah, but still not.
Yeah.
The fact that
Yeah, yeah.
unnecessary moves that was just going to end in disaster anyway, which it did.
Yeah.
Which I think was worse than the front. It was just not worth it at the end of the day. I just didn't understand why he needed to toe up here when we're all going pretty slow. It was kind of pointless.
Do you think he might just be making an excuse because he misjudged it? Yeah. Yeah, he fucked up and that was that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just took us out lap one. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Literally, they're 35 laps and hit me on lap one.
Dude, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. Go back. Yeah, I mean you qualified well as well. But if you get a moment, and I know it sounds like I'm picking, but go back and watch Smokey Devil in race 1, man. He crashed into everyone, including G. Took G out. Took about 4 cars out. Somebody needs to have a word with that lad. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not even bothered about a penalty. What I'm bothered about is him keep hitting people, and mainly me. Yeah, well, it's got to be clamped down, Mark. He took me out twice in the touring car race. I went from last to 5th in that race, and within half a lap he'd scat me off. Yeah, he just needs to take a chill pill. Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to have a word with him. That's my opinion, because as I said, he made a whole mess of people's races tonight as well, you know. Well, again now, Dan, you know, kind of moving on from there, you know, what's done is done. I can't go back on the touring car race and have a better race. What I'm concerned about is it keeps happening all the time with him, you know, and, you know, I'm not even bothered about, you know, him getting points or whatever. I just want him to just a bit better on the driving standards, you know. So yeah, even if he just gets a caution or so, I don't know. I'll leave it to you guys. But you know, again, he kind of proved exactly the same thing this evening, you know. And yeah, there you go. Yeah. Anyway, have you No. Totally. Just in other news, Dan, have you approached Pedro yet? No. Well, when you do, make sure you get some sort of quote on price. Yeah. Because he doesn't. I mean, he's just an employee of that company. Yeah. So just make sure you get. So all I want is I don't want you getting a big bill that you weren't expecting. That's all. All right. Cool. Right, I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot off. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. Bit smoother than last week. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See you next week.
What was that, Dan?
Yeah, did the stream.
No, I never do.
Well, yeah, we do. No, you're live stream. You don't control that.
I'm broadcaster, I think is what Dan's on about, isn't it?
Oh, your live stream right now. The thing where you press share with broadcast.
Yeah. What about it?
Still live.
Yeah. Well, it will be until I switch off, won't it?
You stop it, yeah, you press share, it's off.
Okay.